So last night, the Bombshells decided who they wanted to be coupled with. And also, Miss Anna made the ultimate decision that she was ready for her time on Love Island to end, thus leaving Bergie as the only single islander, but safe from going home right now. Now, we're going to get into the decisions because there were some interesting decisions made on who they wanted to be coupled with. But I want to start off with Anna because I've said some things about Anna where I have not liked some of her behavior. And I think it's so easy to say or criticize what you don't like about somebody. And less often, more often than not, people will not say what they like about somebody that maybe they find at times less than favorable. What she did last night really put her in a different light for me in some ways because it takes a lot to step away. As we see with some other people, which we're going to get into, that, you don't have to, she wasn't willing to force something that she didn't think was there and then compromise somebody else's chance. And that says a lot about her. And also, sometimes when you step away from just kind of what you think and what you feel, and can you kind of analyze the situation, recognizing how so many people seem to feel about her leaving and how impactful it seemed like it was to so many other islanders, leads me to believe that, one, she's more than, which, I mean, everybody is more than what we see, but, certainly just some of the personality traits and things were so much more than maybe what we saw. And don't get me wrong, she had some really likable moments as well, but some things she did make you question her character or her motives, but in the end, she showed up, and that's what matters. And I really, really respect her decision, so I'm so proud of her, and I wish her well, like I really, really do, because she... again, she's not been my top person, but she was not at the top of my list to go home. I'm not going to lie to you. I know I wanted Carmen to go home. I did. But we're going to get into that. So, it's discussing that. We already knew Kenzo was going to pick Carmen. I felt very confident. It was going to be between Anna and Carmen, but he really seemed to like Carmen. And, and Carmen has a way of wooing or kind of being able to sway the boards for the moment. She does that. We'll see. I try, to know and realize that there's more maybe than what we see. But what we see with Carmen, I think it's just the facial expressions. It's the situation with Bergie and Victor, that she flips stuff when it's convenient. And we could go through a whole history lesson of why, for me, I think that's problematic. But okay, we're not going to go there today. So I felt like we knew Kenzo was going to pick Carmen, and that was what it was. Now, do I really believe that Carmen's into Kenzo? I absolutely don't. Now, we shall see, because I could be wrong, but I think she wants to stay. The same way she was playing Bergie, she was playing Victor. She hedges her bets to the next thing. And I do think that maybe she's physically, because he's a good looking guy. But, she's here for the game, and that's what it is. But again, I keep telling y'all, being here for the game, you have to come across likable. You have to be likable in some regards. And I don't think it's showing right now. Maybe as we go along in the show, but not right now. Then we have Mr. Jonah. I'm liking Jonah. I love really his personality is coming out. I really like the feels. Now, I didn't know if he was going to pick Hannah or Destiny. I felt like he was leaning more towards Destiny, and I love it. I love it for her. I loved her confidence when it came to that. I'm all for it. The energy is brought out a totally different side from her. She seems to be really, really comfortable with him, as opposed to the forced conversations between her and Harrison. Even when do you want to check on Harrison? Do you want to talk to him? Nope. I want you guys, nope, because we are moving forward. There's nothing else to say. We see what it was. Let's move on, okay? I love it. I really do. I love it for her. And we're going to see if it continues. Love Island stuff can change on a daily. But as of right now, in this moment, I'm all for it. Emily did throw me for a whirlwind. I was shocked. When she picked Harrison, and just like Anna, and so we talk about just character, and that did speak to a lot of Emily's character. And that's something that she said, which it is, because it sounds so easy to say, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do whatever I want. That sounds nice, but it's easier said than done, even with people that you don't know as much, to hurt people or to see, to know that you'll be the cause. So I feel it different because I think that spoke to her character a lot. I really thought that was just, wow, like that was a nice thing that she did. But I mean, don't get me wrong again. Harrison is very handsome. I recognize that. But when she's talking about him and to him, it's not the same kind of feel that I will say that she had with Kenan or Marco. Now, but in saying that, I still recognize also the decision, while it certainly, I think, was to make sure that you're not hurting people. It's, it was some it was for herself a little bit as well, because I know Marco made it very clear that he was willing to talk and hear her out, but he would not be necessarily the one. She would have to pursue him. He wasn't going to pursue her. And I could see how that could be off-putting. While it may be understood, it's like, okay, well, do I really want to keep kind of chasing you and then trying to hopefully convince you, and then I might not, and hedge my bets? Or even with Kenan, like same kind of situation, and then just make it really uncomfortable, a bad situation, and I wind up just kind of being kicked out. But Harrison, was a safe choice and a way to go, and it was a way to kind of let up off everybody else. I think anybody with eyes could see that Destiny and Harrison, that was not it. It was not it, and so it was a safe choice, and, with hopes that maybe something could go. And because I don't think their conversations were horrible with Harrison, but when you have something else to compare it to, hell, I would rather see her with Bergie. And I know initially, because I definitely was, I didn't feel like she wanted to be with Bergie. And I still don't necessarily feel like she wants to be with Bergie. But in looking at her personality and just how things go, and just the experience and the comfort, I like it. I could like it. I could see it being fun. Because at the end of the day, Love Island has not convinced me with these relationships yet. So if it's just about enjoying somebody's company, feeling like you're being in a safe space, then I am all for it. I'm all for it. But I will say, because I was in, like, when I was indifferent. When I saw that Bergie was the only single one and he was left there, I was like, oh my goodness. I was really like, what is this going to look like? What is that experience going to be? I was pleasantly surprised, guys, because I really didn't know where we were headed with this situation. But I love how the Islanders, it really is starting to feel like Love Islands of the past, but almost in its own unique way. I really, really like it, because I think on shows before, seasons prior, you could kind of feel front runners. You could kind of feel, you just kind of had a select few that you really like. But I think with this group in totality, it's really it's so many moving parts, and it's so many different little stories within. And I think how they're coming together, even though we've seen where some people just hit it right off, I think it's nice to see kind of how everybody's kind of coming into one another. And I'm liking where we're headed. I still don't know that from the clips that we've seen of the new girl coming in and the new guy. I don't know. I don't see her being for Bergie. Y'all can let me know in the comments what you think. I don't see that for Bergie. Now, maybe it could be for Bergie, but yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And the new guy, I don't know, like, because KK, now he could be interested in KK, and I would love that for KK, in the sense, not that I want her to leave Kenan, but not that I even care if he likes anybody else, but I love to see everybody be desired. If everybody comes in, it's always the same person. And even if somebody comes in, and let's say the new girl comes in and she wants Kenan or Marco, and it's the same people, you want to be desired. And I feel like KK is the only one who continues to be kind of on the outs when people come in and they're deciding kind of who's their type, who's this. So I would love that for her. And I would love it for Kenan to be tested, because sometimes it's easy for you to sit there and say, now, I got what he said. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be dismissive of what he said. And I get what he's saying when he's saying, like, we should be able to be tested and that should be good. However, that's easy for you to say, sir. And because, again, I recognize what he's saying, and I do believe it on some level, because you should trust your relationship enough that it can be tested in this situation, because that's what it is. But when you haven't had to be tested, let's see how you do when it's put to the test. So I'm hoping that that's the way that it goes. Y'all let me know in the comments. And that's all I kind of got. Like, we're going to see. Like I said, I'm not convinced that Carmen really likes poor Kenzo at all. Like, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. He just, and honestly, I want to say he kind of put himself in this situation because he seemed to have an obsession with, like, that he was gonna secure a blonde and blue eyes, and he did talk to other people, but I felt like he was always kind of hell bent on he was gonna conquer somebody with some blue eyes and some blonde hair. And I hope that didn't put him in a bad situation. Now, I don't think right now he has anything to worry about because I don't see anybody coming in that would really just, kind of swoop and sweep Carmen off her feet. And I think she's smart enough to know to play, she's trying to play the game as smart as one, well, not as smart as one can, as smart as maybe she sees it as she can. And to keep switching partners would not be in her best interest. So we'll see how that plays out. She talked a good game. I don't believe it, but we shall see. Maybe her words will match her actions for a change. We're going to see. Jonah and Destiny, I love it. We're going to see. KK and Keenan, I'm still loving it. I'm hoping they can work through their trust issues or whatever. Marco and Hannah, I love it. It's cute. It's just the vibes. I really still appreciate Marco's continuous honesty whenever he gets a chance to interject himself. Emily and Harrison, I don't know. Cassie and Leo, y'all already know how I feel about them. I don't know. First, I feel like once Leo gets wherever the wind blows, he's trying to get as much tail and as much feels as he can. And I think, just again from his facial expressions, a lot of times he is surprised when people come in and he is not the first pick. So I think that has fallen on his ego a little bit, and that has left Cassie in a safe space because he has not been the one that's been picked. So we're going to see how this all plays out. Y'all come back, meet me in the comments because, again, I talk back, okay? So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I can't wait to hear you guys in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking, and we're going to talk next time.